As we come to the last part of this section here, a lot of people want to know what happens if I sell my home. And rather than us or me providing you with our opinion, we actually like to cite some very, very important, relevant third parties, starting with Fannie Mae, Fannie Mac, who finances a bunch of loans, as you very well know. I'm sure you've heard of them. They actually have determined that they've rewritten the lending law so that they can facilitate and require the appraisal of solar. And the base rate that we're finding to be consistent is at $4 per watt. And we'll make that make sense when we design the system and know exactly what size system that you're going to have. And I'll circle back to that. In addition, the Berkeley Lab study, you can find these independent of what I'm referring to here today. That's a .gov study. And they found that the value of a solar system on a new home, of course, is less than an existing home, but this is how most people go in solar today. And they determined the value at $4.51 a watt, whereas the National Renewable Energy Laboratory, a very useful study that was done, and these were done on thousands of homes. So this isn't just one market. This isn't just a handful of homes. It's done on thousands and thousands of homes so that they can determine the value. And they say it's $5.91 a watt. Now there's some disparity there, obviously. So we try to stay conservative. We work with the Fannie Mac numbers of $4 per watt. So how's that determined? If you look at your home today and you continue to invest into the utility company, which is your liability. By the way, what's your return on your electric payment that you're making every month? What's your return on that investment? Obviously, your lights turn on, but there's no return on that investment. Whereas with solar, the value typically is about $25,000 added value to the home. And then whatever the energy savings is, that's an asset to you because you're no longer investing that into someone else's electrical grid. You're putting it on your power plant on your roof. So if you look at how that's determined, it's determined by the savings. So today, your electric bill, we're just going to use a rate of 4% increase, just to be conservative. And again, here in the Dallas market, for example, we're seeing rates increase double digits because of the changes that are happening in the industry. But let's keep it 4%. It's going to grow. And it will double about every 12 to 14 years, depending upon what that actual increase is. So if you're paying $200 a month now, likely in 20 years, you're going to be paying somewhere in the range of $550 to $600. And this is all data that can be backed up. Whereas when you convert to solar, if you look at that bill, it's going to stay flat for the entire time. If you paid cash, then there's no payment. If we facilitated a loan, then that payment will stop at 10, 12, or 20 years. I typically recommend a 20-year loan because it makes that payment lower, and there's no prepayment penalty. You can pay it off anytime. You can pay it if you sell your home, etc. And whatever bill remains, sometimes there's none. Sometimes there's a connection charge. Sometimes we can't produce 100% of your energy. And look, if we can produce 60% of your energy, take advantage of that and lock it in because that 60% you never have to worry about negotiating what that is, and you're investing into your home instead of into the monopolized utility grid. That's a really simple way to look at the benefits of solar. And if you pay cash, this is data that is really important. It's the best return on investment of anything out there. CD, bonds, S&P 500. So we can, of course, take a cash deal. And there's an incentive. If you go cash, it's about 5% less if you go cash because financing does cost money and it requires work to get it done. But either way, it's still an asset versus a liability. If you're swapping one bill that you're currently paying the electric company for renting their energy with no return on investment with another bill, even if it's a little bit higher in the initial year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you're having an asset on your home. You can see the data that we've just shown you that asset grows in value and decreases your liabilities. Last section here is the National Renewable Energy Lab study. You can Google these terms. They find solar homes sold 20% faster and for 17% more, part of their thousands of homes study. The U.S. Department of Energy, according to them, they say homes sell twice as fast as homes without solar panels. Last one here is the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Say that it makes your house more affordable to more people, because now if you sell it with solar on top, they don't have to pay for that power anymore. It attracts attention in a competitive market, and it's a home improvement what actually saves money. Whereas a pool or a new kitchen or any of those, they're improvements and they're lovely, but they're not saving you money, they're costing you money. So those